What I want to do is just make a brief introduction about my trip to the mountains on a motorcycle with Fawn for 3 days and 2 nights. We had a wonderful time. It was a great trip for both of us for a lot of reasons. And then talk about how it was helpful. First stop at the Pawtaw. Been riding for around 45-50 minutes, which is as long as I've ever ridden. And I'm taking a little break, probably gonna have a coffee, and then on the way to Pak Chong, the mountains of Pak Chong, for the lovely weekend with the lovely Fawn, going to 2 really cool restaurants. It's like motivation for why you should retire early. That's beautiful. That waterfall is a very soothing sound. It's beautiful. I'm just taking a little walk to kind of loosen up the old arthritis that all us guys in our 60s have tons of. And rode my motorcycle for 2 hours today to the mountains of Pak Chong with Fawn on the back. Beautiful resort though. Look at that. I mean, that's just absolutely lovely. So this, and our villa has a private pool as well. I swam in the private pool, got my back loosened up, read a little bit, talked with Fawn a little bit, texted with a friend who's buying a motorcycle today, and talked about helmets, bikes, and stuff and all that. And I fell asleep in bed, which was my intent. Had my nap. Gonna have a lovely dinner at Robb's, Mann. It's probably my favorite restaurant in Thailand. I really like it. This is why I was devastated when I was forced to retire at age 57, and I was very unhappy about that. And now in hindsight, I see that was the best thing that could have happened to me at that time. Same with COVID. I thought COVID was terrible and awful, and it really interrupted the plans I had and the work I had going and the money I was making and all those things. And then in the end, it ended up facilitating a lifestyle change for me that I did not see coming and that I did not know that I needed or wanted. Crazy. What does that say for my decision-making process? And the best things that happen to me are the accidents. There she is. Robb's, Mann. Romantic weekend getaway. One of probably my absolute favorite beer in Thailand. High alcohol content, so I just get the little bottle, and I'm here for a couple hours at least. Slow dinner, rode my motorcycle, so I'll be drinking half that bottle over 2 hours. Thailand, you can see it's absolutely stunning, and so it's fun. As she focuses on her phone.
I had to show a picture of this steak. It was so delicious. Absolutely an incredible meal.
Not gotten much of fun lately. We're just finished an awesome dinner at Robb's, Mann, and really, really great evening. And we got a whole weekend ahead of us. This is fantastic. It's been years waiting until I could heal to this point. I'll never recover. Not even hoping. That's fine. But I can do a little bit, and then I need to take a couple of days and rest afterwards. That's okay. Boy, did I get the parking spot or what? They waved me over, which was nice of them.
And here's just a couple of shots from the actual dinner at Robb's, Mann. There's that wonderful beer with my cute little view of Fawn I had throughout the meal, which I certainly appreciated. Here's the standard selfie that we had the waitress take, so she could put that on her social media. And then this photo I took, I really like this one. Very pretty shot of her sitting on her motorcycle with the restaurant in the background before they waved us over to that reserved parking spot, which was really nice.
Just taking a little morning walk. I find it's healthy. At this age, walking is exercise now. So really, really pretty, and it's so quiet. Here's the pine trees I'm coming up ahead to. Hang on. There's the pine trees that I like here. Sawadee Gap, Kotod, YouTuber. And I like these pine trees. I want to buy just a few for my yard. Give it a little bit. They look like Christmas trees to me, you know. That's got to be the owner's vehicle. I looked that up. Those are 2 million baht, I mean, give or take. Looks like we've got 3 customers at the hotel for the weekend. Just one idiot brought a motorcycle. Buffet is a little quiet today. last weekend was a big holiday weekend. We were coming here then, but then our mutual friend, I'll say his name because I never could say his name correctly. I called him Sambong, which is not really his real name, but that was as close as I could pronounce just physically. Some of the tones are really hard. Hey, newsflash, Thai is difficult. In contrast to that, there's the security guys at the entrance. I probably can't quite see it back there. A nice chat with them this morning. That was all in Thai. That was all simple subjects, and so that I have a fairly good command of the language on. So that was fun. And I found out that the Ahan Chow Bud Bet Moong Chow. So the breakfast opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. So we're here, quiet weekend, kind of nice, kind of worked out nice. And the roads were really quiet too on the way here, which helped. We're gonna have a quiet, slow, lazy day today and eventually make our way over for dinner at the Witch's Brew, which is a microbrewery, I think. I've always wanted to go there, always saw it going by. Halloween's one of my two favorite holidays, Halloween and Christmas. It's Halloween themed brew pub, and the reviews online were really good. So it's been 2 or 3 years. We kept driving by it whenever we come to Pak Chong, which is once or twice a year, and I never got there. So we're gonna go tonight. Okay, go ahead. Is that Yang? Well, we made it to the Witch's Brew. Gee whiz, that only took like 2.5 years. I'll do some slideshows are better than video, I think. I'll take some pictures and put something together. But supposed to be some kind of microbrewery with burgers and stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, Bem Noon. Oh.
So here's the interior of the Witch's Brew restaurant. Neat, clean, very nice. Beautiful large patio on 2 levels, kind of covered. Then out in the yard is a whole big outdoor dining, and really, really pretty, relaxing, calm, quiet, nice place to have a meal. And you should know social media is quite a bit more important in Thailand than it is in the West, in my opinion. And your lady is going to want regular selfies and photos to show what she's doing and has been up to. And Fawn was in a particularly good mood and wanted lots of fun pictures and stuff like that, which I was only too happy. And this is my favorite one here. This one's so darn cute.
We're here at the bike, getting ready to head back to the hotel. Ahan aloy mai. Yeah, aloy mak mak chai. Yeah, it's really good food. I'm a picky eater, and that's a top 10 hamburger for sure. That's an inspired hamburger, and the nachos, the chicken nachos, were incredible. They had some really nice German beer on draft, which I enjoy, and it's a beauty. You'll see in the slideshow I'll make, but it's just a beautiful venue. We had a absolutely fantastic time, and the Fawn's wearing her cute little jacket. She bought some Harley patches on Shopee and had them put on by her cousin. And then we got the bike here. We're switching out our gear and heading home, and just have a nice quiet evening, a little romantic swim tonight. And then she's been sleeping in and napping a lot, which has made me happy because she stresses. She takes care of me. I need a ton of care and feeding. I'm like having a pet hippopotamus or something. I mean, I'm a ton of maintenance, and it's just the way it is. And the last couple months have been stressful. We've had a couple of things going on, which is odd. Normally, I just have my own personal stuff I'm dealing with, and I'm constantly improving with my health and everything. And here we've, she's posing in the back, that's better for you. And here we've been dealing with a cyber stalker. So police reports on that, tons and tons of paperwork. And what the heck is wrong with people? And some health stuff, this really bad toothache. I ended up with a really bad infection. It just, I'll stop, but oh my gosh, it's been just the last few months have been like one problem after another, just no break. And now it's like, this trip is kind of a celebration of our annual anniversary. We do an anniversary every month, because why shouldn't you? But the annual this month is the big one. It's for the whole year. And but also this is kind of the celebration of just all these little problems being over. So anyways, it's all good. It was all good even then. It's fine. This is a great way to retire. Beautiful, cool, early fall evening. Just parked my bike. Fawn wanted me to wear the shirt today, that's fine. And heading back to my room here. Nice, quiet evening with Fawn. I'm gonna do a little night swim. All that good stuff. Like I said, it's just nice to kind of be having cleared out all or most of our challenges the last couple of months. It's just been a little weird. Just, you know, I'll do a total on the trip. I think right now we're at, with everything, the shopping, we bought some nice clothes, both of us, and had some really lavish meals. And this is a really posh resort, as you can kind of tell. And the whole thing is 13 grand, looks like. I'll add it up, but that's about where we're at. Morning walk before my swim. I'm wearing a bathing suit and a muscle shirt, so this isn't the highfalutin channel at this particular moment. But this is casual. This is what's going on. It's Sunday morning. Okay, so beautiful, great trip. It's probably the first and last motorcycle tour that I take. I'm just not physically able to do that. Now, I'm only 61. A lot of 71-year-old guys could do that and more. But I've got a lot of health issues, and that was too much for me. But it was a bucket list thing to do. You know, sometimes the bucket list isn't going to get any easier 10 or 20 years from now. So I did it, and I don't regret it, and it was great. And likely we'll never do it again. About a half-hour ride's about all I'm good for, and I have a great time. Half hour, I have a great time. Check the box, had a nice motorcycle ride, and then I go do my I'm running errands when I do that. I run my errands, and the physical ability to run errands is a big victory for me. So I'm just happy with that. But what was going on? So I mean, it's just been kind of some healing, and Fawn has been really busy, and that is the hallmark. Again, everything is all about, on my channel, is about how a guy coming here who may be looking for a good girlfriend, wife, or whatever to take care of him and enjoy a peaceful and productive retirement, whatever he chooses to spend his time or make his goals or whatever. Guys that want to party and stuff. Nothing wrong with that at all. My channel isn't about that. And occasionally I get a guy that gets to get super triggered because I'm not talking about getting drunk every day and bar finding 4 girls a week. And I do what you want. I don't know why those people get so upset with me. Go do your stuff. My friends and I all like this, and if you like this, then this may have some meaning to you. But when I arrived here, I'll just to high points for newer viewers. I mean, I was in poor financial shape because I have 2 pensions and one had not come in yet. Of course, they kept promising it, and there was just more paperwork, and eventually they had to give it to me, and they did. But they'll make you jump through every single hoop, and cross every T, and you can drag things out for an extra year or two if you do that, and they do. They do it to almost everybody, and it is what it is. But before I got that, I was living on I lived on $1,350 US a month when I got here. I was in serious 24-hour pain. Now I'm in like 24-hour discomfort and light pain, and then I'm actually fine as long as I spend my entire day pampering myself and having Fawn pamper me. As soon as I'm looking at my front yard right now, and Kunpa, Fawn's dad, came by, and he did another 20-30% of the stonework in the front all by himself in over 2 days. That guy's amazing. He's the human bulldozer. And I go to help, 5-10 minutes. I just feel so guilty. I'll move, 5 20-pound rocks, 25-pound rocks maybe at the most. And I'll work for 5 or 10 minutes, just a token, just because I feel like a jerk, a lazy jerk when he's working, and he's 7 years older than me, and I'm not doing anything. He'll chew me out the whole time. Every time I've helped, he and his wife, Fawn's mom, will Robert, buat lang, back pain, don't do that. And I just feel prideful, and then I'm near bedridden for 3 days. So I just need to learn the lesson, but the ego is a little slower than the body, in my case anyways. Yeah, so I like to say I was just in terrible shape with money and my health, a lot of health problems, not just that other stuff too, won't bore you. And then emotionally, I was just kind of a wreck because if you've ever gone through a divorce after a long time of marriage, it just sort of hits home after a long time that that relationship wasn't worth nearly what you thought it was, and it was just not what you were thinking. And I don't know why I don't, but praise God, I don't look back at it regretfully. It was time I used the best I could at the time, and I had a great time with friends and kids, and there were good times with the ex-wife, and it is what it is, and it was what it was, and again, I'm just thankful I'm here. This is a pretty dang comfy spot to be in, and I'm thankful to be here. Maybe that's why I'm so happy. So, and then as all that improved is my point, then for me, and Fawn's life was stressful too, because she had lost a ton of face because her husband had actually left her, which is how most Thai divorces go, at least all the ones that I know of. I'm sure it's not all of them, but just it's real common. What I hear is that the guy will leave the woman. The Thai-Isan women are very loyal. I don't hear a lot of stories of them leaving their guy. I know one pretty well. I know one lady that did that, and it was not very nice. But gee whiz, I know 10 the other way. Moving into the new house, the routines are different, and in all honesty, as I look back each day, I mean, Fawn and her boys are nice overall, and I mean they're great, and of course particularly Fawn. But there's just a lot of extra activity on in the house, and I like a house quieter. There'll be like kids' toys and stuff laying around. It makes me sound like an ogre, but gee whiz, I don't want to have like my house turned into like a play school or a daycare center. I'm an adult retired man, and I've got like leather furniture, cigars, bourbon, brick, motorcycle memorabilia. This isn't romper room, and so we're trying to get the balance on that. I asked Fawn, and she immediately, part of the problem is she immediately agrees with everything I ask, because then you have to be careful what I ask for. But I said, look, let's just have them here so many nights a week, and you reduce that a little bit. And of course, she immediately changed that, and that helped. I need some kind of rule or something on. They'll come here like all day, every day, and I don't like that. I got to figure out a non-jerkish way to address and deal with that. I don't know what's fair. I got to think about it, but got to do something with that next. But other than that last little thing, everything else has been resolved. The tooth thing is done. The cyber stalking appears to be done. I hope they're done. It's just a waste of everyone's time, in my opinion. And so the trip to Pak Chong was also our annual, our 1-year anniversary of so many years we've been together. We celebrate our anniversary every month on the date, but once a year it's the month and the date, and that's a bigger one, and that's what it was. We did that, but honestly, we said we were celebrating it more for just all these little stresses. The last few months were just difficult. I'd screwed up with my visa. I didn't file all the paperwork on time, and Fawn normally reminds me, but we were so busy with the new house, we didn't do that. And then she didn't, and I had no idea, that your first driver's license is only good for 1 year. Back in Michigan, they're good for 4 or 5 years. And mine had lapsed by more than a year, and I needed them to renew my visa. And so within a week, I had to renew visa, do a lot of banking, and renew 2 licenses. So a separate license for motorcycle and car. So that was also part of it. But that's all over now. It's all great now, and it's just been a lot better. And now maybe finally the goal here is to get back to the original plan for this year, which is kind of doing nothing. I just want to get back in my normal, healthy, sane routine of going to the gym, slowly working on my goals of rehab and physical therapy, which I prefer to call my weightlifting, because I do it through weight training mostly, and a little bit of like martial arts pattern work where you're standing and crouching and kind of thing. It's like Tai Chi with violence, if you want to think of it that way. And as my son's always telling me, there's virtually no arthritis in China because everybody does Tai Chi. So and if my son says it, so far, it's always been true. So I just go with it. When he says something, I just go with it. So I just want to get back into that and get back to enjoying my life. and Fawn is at her every year there's a big crush of all these tests with students, and all this new plan work's got to be filed for next year's school plans, and she and her friends are all in the fray on that as well, and that ends in, I think, 2 or 3 more weeks. So our stuff together is done. My stuff is done. Picked up 1 extra day a week with Usani studying Thai. I'm back to 1 day a week reading, which is good because there's like 80 characters in the alphabet and like 11 or 12 tone marks. Don't tell me there's 5, because this is flat out not true. And I forget some of them because I'm old. So it's the reading, review reading is great. So I'm just going to do that for the next few weeks while she gets out of her schoolwork, and I'll just pop by on my bike once in a while and bring her a coffee or a tea or something to help keep her hydrated and be supportive, that kind of thing. So that's all great. And then now we're at the tail end of the hotter part of the year. We're getting now some cooler weather. You see the flannel? I was out this morning wearing this. It was comfortable. It's a hair chilly, which is nice. We're getting into the second half of the year now, and a little bit the nicer weather is just starting to peak in. It's lovely, and which is a foretaste of what we'll have as every month goes on. It's going to get nicer and nicer. We'll hit the peak rainy season and all that, but that again, the rainy season here has 3 rules. It doesn't usually rain for more than 1 hour. Most of the time, it does not. It generally rains after 2 p.m. in the afternoon, unless it's an all-day shutout, which is rare, and you get 30 minutes of sprinkles before the rain. So if you're on a motorcycle, for example, you get plenty of notice to pay attention and go pull in at a coffee shop or get your butt home. So that greatly reduces the inconvenience of the rainy season to the point where it really isn't much of a bother to me. I've been caught in the rain twice here. I've been motorcycling here for 2 years out of the 4 I've lived here. Not quite 4 total, but a couple months away from 4-year anniversary, so forgive me. But Witch's Brew and Ribs Man are 2 high recommend restaurants from me. I would add, if you're going to Pak Chong, you got to go to both of those places, in my opinion. They're just, if you like Western food, but high recommend it. Now, Ribs Man's expensive. It's 3,500 baht for a dinner for 2 people if you're doing it up. And I had a Belgian high-end beer, the Duval beer. You'll see it in the photo. I mean, that's probably the best beer in Thailand, in my opinion. I only had half a glass because I was riding a bike, and that's 8.5% alcohol. So I think for Fawn and I, it's been great. It got a little stressful, like a married couple, kind of stressful with kids and everything, which we sort of are in a way. Back to that cyber stalking thing for a second, that was kind of the good in that, though. You can find the good in anything. The good in that was I see the pattern, I saw what they were saying all the time, and I recognized that in the people that come on my channel, and their very first comment is super, super, super derogatory and venomous, generally to everyone on the channel, mainly me, but my whole channel and everything. Everything is beneath them. They're the top of the world, obviously. And with their poor English and poor punctuation and ignorant level of knowledge. But I recognize that now more clearly for what it is. So that kind of helped to understand those people better and to give them just no share of mind. I don't like to be that dismissive to another human being, but in the case of a person just deliberately just trying to make venom at others for venom's sake, can't really give that person a whole lot of regard, I would have to say. So anyways, that's it. Easy video this week. Basically, Pak Chong is awesome. It's a little limited, in my opinion. And it's mega expensive, by the way. Pak Chong is the real estate's some of the most expensive in all of Thailand. And well, gee, Rob, it's way up in the middle of nowhere on a mountain. Why would it be that way? Because it's close to Bangkok. And the Bangkok wealthy will go there to the mountains. They'll often have a second home or their main home there and have like a work apartment in the city. And there's wealthy people here. You've probably seen that by now. And then the wealthy foreigners go where the wealthy Thais are. And there's a lot of Falang type restaurants, Western food and that. I didn't see, when I go there, I see Western people here and there, but not much. I suspect it's mostly quieter people, maybe like myself, going there. But they're there. I know they're there. But if you ever want to stay there, do be prepared. It's not going to be cheap like where I live. I'd probably struggle to live there. I'd probably be more just in an apartment or something. And it's mostly one big main road running up and down the one back of one of the mountains where the whole Pak Chong thing takes place, where Ribs Man restaurant is, where Witch's Brew restaurant is, all that stuff. That's where we always go. We've explored around other places and never found another place other than that strip that grabs our attention and interest. That's where the chocolate factory is. They have fantastic coffee and snacks and chocolate, of course, and things like that. So we just tend to go there. It's great for a couple of days, and then you've kind of seen it and done it, and then we go home. Not that there isn't more you could do there, because there is, but for us, that's just kind of what we do. And the other guys that I know that live out here, when they go to the Pak Chong, they do the same thing. Obviously, there's a big natural park there. We just didn't feel like doing that because that was a 30-minute motorcycle ride further away to the park, and then to be 30-minute back. And this was physically taxing for me. But when I arrived at the hotel, all I wanted to do, and what I did is I swam for about an hour, and then I rested, took a big nap, and then I went to Ribs Man and had a heavy beer and a fantastic steak, and went home, went to bed. I mean, that knocked me out. And yeah, it's fair. I mean, I'm 61 and I'm injured. That's fair. So I was okay with that. But still, strong recommend to go to Pak Chong. You got to go at least once and check it out because it is pretty cool. The weather there is about 5 degrees centigrade cooler than here on average. It's not massively different. Sometimes there's less humidity, sometimes there's more. This particular trip, it's been a little bit humid here lately, which is odd for where I live in the outskirts of Korat City. Usually where I'm in a little dry spot. There are spots in any geographic area. There'll be dry, less humid spots, more humid spots, hotter spots, cooler spots, based on local breezes and things. And I'm in a spot that just is a little bit nicer weather than the surrounding area. When I get out on the main road, I immediately feel a 5 degree centigrade wave of heat. Pretty much every single day on my motorcycle, I feel it. As soon as I get out of this one road, hike the next road, boom, the heat hits me. And I'm always thankful that I don't live in that, because that I wouldn't like. So I get people complaining about Thailand being hot, but again, most people live in the Gulf region, and it's hot in the Gulf region, and it's humid because it's a Gulf. So I just wouldn't stay there. That, and of course, all the foreigners. My friends are all kind of like me, birds of a feather flock together. We don't like crowds. We don't like a lot of the foreigners, because most of the foreigners here, as you see in my other videos, make kind of a bad reputation for us. A lot of people come here and figure, there's an old saying, a bird won't poop in his own nest. So people will go somewhere else to misbehave, be rude, let loose, and show you who they really are. And me and my friends, we don't care for that. We like it quiet and neat and polite and all that. And so we do this. Not that anyone's better than anybody, not saying that, but just what we like. All right. Thanks a lot. Go to Pak Chong. Have a good time.
Here's Fawn on my motorcycle out in front of our home as we're starting our road trip. And this is after that gas fill up at the Pa Ta Ta. We went to the 7-Eleven right there. And then here's just a couple of casual shots of the hotel facility, because it was so unusually pretty and so cleverly architecturally integrated into the landscape, which is something you don't often see here. Whoever designed this is very accomplished, and a very pretty place. You saw that I took a walk probably 2-3 times a day for 10-15 minutes. Very good for the old arthritis and all that stuff. And you get these little private villas like this here. It's very, very nice. And here's our standard selfie in front of Ribs Man. We take one wearing red shirts every year. It's like a tradition. It's like a Christmas thing. And this wasn't Christmas, of course, but my great parking spot. And then Fawn always makes a pretty view for me when we're at dinner together. She's so darn cute. And there's that beer again. Just really, really enjoyable. And here I asked Fawn to take a selfie of us riding the bike. Cute expression on her face. It's always such a cute little expression on her face. And I took a couple of kind of private photos of her, or where she didn't know it. Here she was napping, and it made me so happy to see her catching up on her sleep, because she's worked so extra hard the last 2 months helping me with everything and all these little problems that came up at the last minute, and that all had to kind of go through her. A lot of the legal stuff had to all go through her. And here we did a little shopping, and this is that big outlet mall I was mentioning. They had a big pop-up tent in addition to the regular outlet mall. And then there's a photo that she had me take when I took that video of her.
Thank you for watching my YouTube video. If you've watched this far, please consider hitting like and subscribe.